Dark and Darker, an unforgiving hardcore fantasy FPS dungeon PvPvE adventure. Band together with your friends and use your courage, wits, and cunning to uncover mythical treasures, defeat gruesome monsters, all while staying one step ahead of the other devious treasure hunters.
Dark and Darker is an extremely rewarding game that is also very unforgiving. Some videos that are labeled for beginners want to bog you down in complicated or unnecessary information. This isn't one of them. Stick around as I explain the basic info that you need to approach learning and progressing at Dark and Darker in a meaningful way. I will break down some of the fundamentals first, and then include a few clips from different runs from the various maps in order to describe better what kind of thought process you need to safely extract and increase your survival rate. I will cover as much as I can. And just a disclaimer, I am by no means an expert, and I know enough to help beginners learn how to play. Be prepared to die. A lot. Dying is the number one way you're going to learn how to play this game. Map knowledge is critical, and the only way to learn them is to experience them firsthand. There are traps and enemies lurking everywhere, and you'll find out where they are by playing through and experiencing these. For this reason, the first thing that you need to do to get better is to run as many dungeons as you can in starter gear for a significant amount of time. You don't want to spend any gold on gear that you're going to bring in and subsequently lose as soon as you die, which, again, you'll be doing a lot of. Starter gear is more than enough to learn how to fight the mobs in this game, which I'll refer to as PvE, or player versus enemy, and even put up a decent fight in PvP, that is, player versus player, at least in the normals mode, if you play your cards right. But again, be prepared to die a lot. The fighter is the easiest class to learn how to play Dark and Darker, by far. For this reason, I highly encourage anyone who wants to learn how to play, use the fighter. As a fighter, you will learn all the necessary things to know about melee combat, which is important to every class in Dark and Darker, even the spellcasters and the rangers. When you first start, you will only get to pick one perk. I would suggest Swift, as it reduces a little bit of the movement penalty you'll get from wearing armor. And movement speed is arguably one of, if not the most important stat in the game. As I said before, the primary objective when you're first starting is to learn the maps. Take your time exploring and pay attention to the monsters, the traps, and the treasure placement. There's no shortcut to learning these maps, and it will come with time and experience. Later in the video, I will show a clip from each specific map, so stick around for that. By the way, liking and subscribing helps me produce more Dark and Darker and gaming content. Thank you. For now, your goal should be bring in your starter gear, learn the maps, and clear as much of the PvE as you can while taking as little to no damage as possible. To do that, you'll need to know how to approach combat. The basic strategy for most mobs is straightforward. Baited attack, create distance, punish the whiff. It goes like this. You kiss the mob. In other words, run into them, then create distance. You don't want to move away by backstepping. Instead, you want to sidestep. Backstepping gives you a heavy movement speed penalty. After sidestepping and creating distance, the monster should have put out an attack, at which point you can punish. Repeat this process until they're dead. By mastering this technique, you will survive a lot more encounters and avoid taking damage most of the time. Some monsters are invulnerable to this technique, like the spear or axe skeletons. Range mobs can be dealt with by sidestepping in a way that moves you away from the mob, kind of like at a diagonal. If you sidestep too close to them, sometimes they'll hit you. You want to sidestep at an angle that allows you to create distance while also punishing their whiff when they miss. After they shoot, move in and attack, sidestep diagonally away, rinse and repeat. Watch out for skeleton archers. They can double attack, which can be very annoying, and they'll catch you if you're off guard. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about every monster in the game, because some of them fall outside of the scope of this video. If you want more guides about that, let me know in the comments down below. Death is around every corner. Moving slowly is one of the keys to survival. If you rush around or move in a careless way, be prepared to die very quickly. Depending on the map, you're going to see a lot of wall spikes and floor spikes. Be on the lookout for them, as they're easy to spot. except for the wall spikes, which can be kind of hidden. As mentioned before, go slowly and deal with one monster at a time. Make sure you kiss them soon enough to give you enough room to bait an attack, punish, and repeat. Sound and light are a huge part of Dark and Darker, and managing both is essential to surviving. Almost everything you do makes noise. Footsteps, which are affected by what type of footwear you have on, breaking open containers, fighting monsters, and opening doors, just to name a few. Players will hear you and be on alert if you're making sound. An important tactic is crouching and walking. Holding shift will make your character walk, and control will make your character crouch. You can combine both to move even more quietly. Do this when you have to move and want to make as little noise as possible. The game does a great job of allowing you to hide in many places by turning off torches. Moving slow, taking mobs out one at a time, and listening carefully after each kill is important to managing what's going on around you. You will survive a lot more if you pay attention to what sound is being made. You can even get the drop on other players or avoid them entirely this way. Moving through the dungeon slowly and clearing mobs without taking damage is a clear sign that you are getting better. However, everyone gets hit once in a while, and managing health is important. If part of your health is grayed out but still red, you can heal it by sitting down with the G key. Bandages also heal recoverable health. Potions will recover all health, but not instantly. If you take damage, it's a good idea to find a dark corner and sit down to recover your health. Make sure you do this within the circle, however. The circle is constantly moving in, and it forces players to interact with each other. If you stay on the edge of the circle, that gives you the best chance of surviving. Sometimes you're going to spawn in the middle of the circle. That's okay. Find a dark corner, clear out the area as best you can, and take it slow. Now, stick around for the clips of the runs that I prepared for you, and follow along for tips on how to think while you're in-game. So, game number 1, we spawn in the ruins. We gotta deal with this red guy. The red mobs are stronger. These guys swing twice, these big sword guys. So, you take your hits, and get out of the way. And I'm always looking sideways when I move back as much as I can to gain more distance. Now, I mess up a little bit here because I step on a floor spike. And that was unfortunate, but mistakes happen. It's okay. Thankfully, I can recover most of that health. So since we spawned in the center, nowhere near the edge of the circle, we're going to take our time. The idea is we don't want to rush anywhere. Just keep it slow. Always keep your ears open. Listen for enemy players. At least we aggro this guy. No big deal. Take a couple hits. Sidestep. Turn the lights off. You always want to grab green items. They recently buffed how much gold you get for the green items, so they sell very well to the NPCs. You can make a lot of gold this way. These spiders are bugged. They recently fixed it. So they were not moving. Any jewelry or candelabras or anything like that you can sell. So we're taking our time. Again, we're in no rush. We're in the center of the map. The circle's not even close to closing in. Mimic spawns. Not a big deal. Take a few hits, back up. Pretty easy to deal with. Long swords are cool. Decided to poke out a little bit. The circle's getting a little closer. But we're not in a rush. So we're going up the stairs here, see what we can see. And there's a bunch of flying skulls. And a bow and arrow guy. Now the bow and arrow guys have a double attack. That's very random and very annoying. Unfortunately, there is another flying skull. I had no idea he was coming. But, you know, don't panic. Take your time. Deal with the monsters one at a time. So I back into the shadow, use a bandage. Green lanterns sell pretty well to the NPCs. Loot what I can. I would like to heal. I hear a zombie attacking somebody. But, not too worried about that yet. So I decide we gotta get back in the circle. I'm trying to stay in the shadows. And this archer sees me. Just watch out for those double attacks. Strafed away. Now I notice this guy, he's stuck. Poor fellow. Oh, that stinks. But good for us. However, there's a bunch of skeletons we have to deal with. Not a big deal. I'd like to not fight them right there. Can't see anything. I get a hit in. This guy climbs over the tent. Just deal with him one at a time. Got his sidestep away every time. Loot this guy as quickly as we can. Looking for green items. Oh, he's got some blue gloves. That's nice. And there's a portal. So that went pretty well for us. Get the portal. Try to loot what I can. Optimize what we exit with. And we're running out of time here. So we got about 10 seconds left. And we're out. That's game number 1. So game number 1, we made out pretty well. Got about 60 gold in trinkets. That's actually 100. And all that gear. The green sellable stuff. Almost 100 right there. 130. So we did very well. We have almost 345 gold from the one game. So if you just take your time, go slow, you can build up your stash pretty quickly. And then you could buy better gear. Game number 2, we are in the Goblin Caves. We spawn in the center again. So, you know, the thought is we're not in a rush to leave this room. This is a big room, lots of mobs, lots of treasure. We're going to deal with things one at a time. Now, it can be a high traffic area. So we'll have to take our time and listen. I'm attracting a lot of goblins here, which isn't ideal, but no, don't panic. These archers, they don't have any annoying double attacks, so they're a little bit more predictable and easier to deal with than the skeleton archers. could sidestep those mage missiles. There's an archer behind him. Now I eat that one. That was a mistake. But mistakes happen. Thankfully I can recover a lot of it. We just hope that no third parties come in and ruin our day. So we're gonna loot as much as we can. I want to sit down and heal, but gotta deal with this axe guy. The axe goblins have a double attack that you'll need to watch out for. So we're healing up. We have bandages, but we'd like to save them for emergencies. Looting what we can. We find a very nice shield. And we've been pretty fortunate. Haven't seen any PvP activity. And sometimes that's just luck of the draw. You know, you don't know if 3 guys are gonna come in here, or 1 or 2. But if you take your time and you don't make too much noise, it won't attract as much attention. Loot what we can. Keep clearing this room. We're still in the circle, so we're not in a rush. Now it's getting a little bit towards the halfway point, and portals are going to start appearing. One already appeared. Now at this point, I think I hear footsteps. So I'm trying to stay behind this pillar, be as quiet as I can. I do believe he's on the other side of this pillar. At least on the other side of the room, somewhere around there. Trying to keep the pillar between him and I. I don't want to take any fights. Now if he was engaged with a goblin and I had full health and I thought maybe I could, you know, we could try to take him, but at this point my inventory's full. I would just like to escape if possible. I hear someone attacking the centipede. That centipede is downstairs. So, I'm not worried about it too much. We're just waiting. There was that guy attacking the centipede, so I'm not gonna go walking around. But that portal pops. And it's just for us. We're out of here. That was game number 2. Again, we got very lucky with enemy players. Did not have to deal with any. But again, we took it slow. We just cleared the room we were in. So I get a nice haul. You know, we're at almost 500 gold already. Time for game number 3. Game number 3, we're in the crypts. We don't spawn in the circle, so we're gonna have to move a little bit more. Upgrade my shield. The scrolls are just loot to sell. So here is an axe skeleton. They're not really fun to deal with. Strafe to the left. Just walk to their left and walk behind them. Though they have the second hook attack that I eat, unfortunately. But mistakes are made. That attack you need to back up or block. The crossbow skeletons are easier to deal with than the archery skeletons. They don't have a double attack. So I would like to heal up. I'm in the circle. I turn off the lights. Sit down. Get my health back. I'm hearing activity. There's somebody in this room. He's having fun. And I aggro some stuff. I'm gonna have to deal with it. So since it's such a tight corridor, you can really only get away with one swing at a time there. So I see this guy. I decide not to throw the axe because I'm not confident I'm gonna hit him. And I don't want to jump down there because I'm gonna have to deal with all that. So I sprint to try to catch him, but he's nimble. He's quick. And he's gone. So I decided to just watch him some more. He's buffing up. I'm still thinking maybe I can get the drop on him, but now I've got this mummy to deal with. He's so fast, he just runs away. And now I've got a bunch of monsters on top of me. So I decide, hey, we gotta go. And I get out of here, but then a spider hits me right at the last second. And take a little bit of damage. Not a big deal. Again, one hit. Oh, never mind. Just took him out. Have some boots, some nice boots, but I decided to take them off because I'm hearing lots of footsteps nearby and I don't want to be heard. I'm going to turn these lights off. Somebody's very close. So I sit down because they're not coming my way, but I was listening if they did before I sat down. So I poke my head out. It's quiet. I try to loot what I can. People have been here. Close that door. In case somebody wants to come back. Now I'm hearing lots of footsteps. And because I don't hear a lot of fighting, I'm thinking they're teaming. And there's a lot of teamers and solos right now. Which isn't fun to deal with. Though there was a scuffle. Somebody got killed. And there's a portal that just popped right near me. But, actually 2 portals, but there's still a lot of footsteps. I decide to wait. Again, we're just trying to get out. Now somebody pops a portal, and I decide, hey, don't mind if I do. Thank you. And that's game number 3. Game number 3. Didn't get as much loot. But, you know, it didn't do too bad. We survived. That's the goal. So after 3 games, almost 600 gold. We just took our time. We were patient. And we dealt with monsters one at a time. Thank you for watching. I hope that helped. Please let me know if you have any questions. And if you like this content and you want to see more of it, please like, subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.